Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel and to another episode. Thank you for watching the previous episode if you have, and if it's your first time, welcome aboard. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the series. This is a series where I sit down and talk to fellow creatives. As a filmmaker, as a creative, as a director myself, I love to sort of have conversations with fellow people and creatives in the community and just kind of talk about the creative life and creative journey. So I'm glad you've joined us along for today. Now, today I wanted to sit down and talk about the often duality that we have to face or deal with as creatives. That can either mean dualities in creative setting. So as a filmmaker, often I have to wear the producer, director, cinematographer, editor hat and like juggle those. But obviously that's just not restrained to filmmaking. But also at the same time, the duality when you're not working as a full-time creative. So juggling non-artistic work and artistic work. And today I have a very exciting, very special guest, Nisha Aaliya, who is a fantastic creative, first of all. But she is a actor, dancer, performer. She's done work on musical theatre. She's been a dancer for the last God knows how many years. She's an incredible person. She's done work for Bollywood films as well. Her work is on Amazon Prime and Shakuntala Devi alongside Vidya Balan. She's also a model. She's just done an incredible body of work, and the creative wonderfulness is only just beginning, and I'm so excited to have her on the episode today. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
It's been so long. I haven't seen you for ages.
I know it's been a hot second.
Like what, 2 years, 2 years maybe?
Yeah, I think
I think so.
I think last time we sort of met in person was when you were when I saw you on Bring on the Bollywood in Kingston. Yeah. That was the last time I saw you in person. After that, it's just been sort of like virtual.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Instagram. I've always had. I don't know if I have an issue with it, but it has been a thing where I feel like because of Instagram, you feel closer to and you feel connected to people. But in actual fact, like we haven't seen each other.
No,
you know. And we think we know what's going on in people's lives, but actually, we don't.
I feel it's really I feel like that really drives home the point how important it is to sort of have in-person interactions. Which, boy, I've really like found the value of this year. Let's just jump straight into it. Nisha, you are a fantastic artist. I've seen you personally perform sort of in theatre, and I've seen you in sort of commercials, Bollywood films as well. So you're an actor, as well as I know your background and your roots are from dancing. And you've been doing a lot of dancing work as well. How do you juggle these different art forms at such a high level?
Oh my God, what an introduction. Wow. Let me just take it in. Thank you for that. But I don't know. I don't know if I juggle them well.
Right.
And I'll tell you how and why. So I've been dancing for like 10 years, I think 9-10 years, and I started about 10 years ago. And for me, dance has always been my passion. I always say this, I'm so passionate about dance. And it was like an after school or an after work thing that I used to do because it was my outlet. Like it was something that was really connected to. It was helping me with a lot of my mental health issues. It was dealing with a lot of rage just over the years. And dance has really helped me in that sense. And I get to express myself. It is a true art form for me. But when I became an actress, which was in for Bring on the Bollywood, and I decided that actually I want to become a full-time creative, I had to obviously quit my job and delve into acting completely at the time. And
your job being as a dancer.
No, my job being as I used to work in IT. So that's what I mean. Ooh. Dancing was never a career.
Right.
At the time, it was always like I enjoy dancing. Yeah, and people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this because the view from the outside is, oh, she was always a dancer and then she became an actress. But I went to uni. I've had a full-time job. I had a career in IT.
Amazing.
I started off in marketing. I became an executive assistant to the CEO, and then I became head of procurement.
Amazing.
And so, yeah, I had a career and that was going to be my life. It wasn't nothing to do with the
What
art.
an amazing career jump, first of all. So that's definitely worth talking about, because I feel like people will find a lot of value in sort of just understanding how that mechanism works, and how you manifested that that transition too. But yes, I want to definitely hear more about the sort of juggling side of things. So you were saying it doesn't feel like much of an effort. Is that am I getting that right?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So to answer your question, because when I saw it, I was like, this is going to be a really long answer, and I don't know how to be succinct about it.
No,
so
there's
I'm just
no
gonna
point.
ramble.
There's no point being succinct. Just let it out.
Okay, fine. Right. So when I left IT and I left a career, I left an entire life. And it was a big decision for me because obviously we'll talk about the finance side of things as well later on.
For sure.
And I had to put a lot of pros and cons together. I had to get a lot of advice from people thinking, what should I do? Should I actually go into this show? And I did, because one of my friends said to me, when you turn 70, 80, 90, you're going to look back at this moment and think, what if? And I was like, damn, I don't want to. I know it's such a classic. It is so cliche,
but it works.
It's true, because it does work, because in that moment I was like, damn, I want to say yes to this. And I never used to be a brave person, in the sense that I would not really say yes to a lot of things. Like I'm very careful with things and overthinking and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I became an actress, and then I realized I've got to really give full attention to this. So my dance actually took a back step. But for me, dance was always a passion. I never had it as a career. I was part of the company before, and we did dance shows, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. But I love rehearsing. I love being in a rehearsal
space with other dancers. Exactly. Yeah.
And just chilling and vibing. Now, because I'm an actor and a full-time creative, I'm managing it all, the modeling side, the acting side.
Of course, you model as well. I completely forgot to mention that.
But I mean, my answer is, you need to have one clear focus. And for me, that is acting. And then everything else is things that work around it for me, not for everyone else, but that's how I manage it. So for you, is it filmmaking? Is that your main thing?
Yeah, for me, that's 100%. That is what my sort of main goal, the focus is at the moment.
Exactly. You have one streamlined focus, but we're not always making films, we're not always acting.
True.
So what do you do in between that?
That's very true. So, well, I guess I do stuff like this.
You do stuff like this. You be a creative. You create things, and you do what you feel like doing.
Yeah, no, because I talked about this in one of the previous episodes as well, like how, because I was talking to Grace Ward, who's a friend, also actor, writer, artist, like paints and draws, so like does a lot of things at a very high level as well. And sort of she had to sort of say the same thing, but we were talking about how you could, maybe if one avenue is not working, you can switch lanes, and sort of like find your own way through this. So if for her, if she finds that acting isn't working out, or at least she's not finding the level of recognition or success, whatever that means, through acting, maybe writing is the way forward for her. I get that as well. But I feel like this is more aligned with like how I deal, because I mean, as you know, I've also danced for a bit, been a dancer in a past life. Yeah, we've kind of like crossed paths through there as well.
I mean, you're amazing. You're amazing.
Stop it.
People,
that's what I
check
try.
out his Instagram.
yeah, there's a lot of beautiful stuff there. I wanna touch on a number of things going off of this, though. That firstly, was acting always the goal? Did you always have acting in the back of your mind, that in a dream world where money wasn't a thing, or like if I could be granted any creative wish, I would be an actor? Was acting ever on the cards?
If I'm really honest with you, I don't think so, because I didn't think that I could ever do it. So regardless of money or anything, being a creative was not on the table, because from a very young age, I think my parents wanted me to go into banking and, you know,
another classic
tech and just that.
Lawyer,
it was all numbers
doctor.
and stuff. Like my dad, lawyer, doctor. But my dad's family, who are based in Sharjah, they're all in banking, and I think that was the path that they wanted me to go into as well. And that's the path I was going in terms of my education. I don't really have creative subjects except for my A levels, which was English literature, which is why I think it's destiny.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like that's an interesting story as well, but it's really long, so I won't go into that at the moment. But
the next episode.
For the next episode, yeah. But I think, acting wasn't always on the cards, just because I didn't know I could do it. I didn't know it was possible. But I used to watch Bollywood films like so many other South Asian girls. Like everybody watches Bollywood films, and act like, give a tumka and act like
My Desi girl.
And back in the day, the banging, right? So in a dream world, it was like, oh, I want to be like them. But it was not like I want to
actively pursue.
Oh yeah, actively pursue, because I couldn't. I really felt like I couldn't until
the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, I mean, opportunity, and also the growth that I've had in my life with the relationship that I've had with my family, and this kind of stance of independence. Like, I am my own person. And I can do what I want to do. There was this whole thing. And then when the opportunity happened, I was like, this has to be something. Like, it's the universe giving me a sign. Again, I don't want to sound like a you might cut that one. You might cut that out, it's fine, but I don't want to sound like that. This universe is calling out to me, but I really did believe it was like, it's a sign
of sorts,
I have to take it.
You can't, I mean, to those of a less spiritual disposition, I suppose you could put it like, such an incredible opportunity, the odds of which are so slim, has presented itself. You would be doing yourself a disservice to say no to it.
Oh wow, I love it. This is why you're a storyteller, a storyteller and a filmmaker.
I write scripts all the time.
Chai Aaliya, everyone.
Boom. That's The art doesn't necessarily pay the bills when you're starting off. So talk to me a bit about that. The time before you become a full-time creative.
So when I was working I think I was working at that company for about 4 or 5 years. So I had a little bit of saving from those years. And when Bring On the Bollywood came to me, I sort of had a chat with the director saying, this is my financial situation, blah, blah, blah. That was a 6-month tour. So I was sorted for 6 months. And then I was like, I will have to use the little bit of savings that I had just to kind of stay in the scene, survive. And like have my rent paid and my bills paid and food and just life. But then very soon after that, the savings finished, because I was done. It
ran
finished.
Out.
So when I started really breaking financially, I was like, oh my God, I can't even afford to go to the shoot, because like, it's, for example, there's a shoot happening in Southall, for example, and I was like, oh, I don't have money to actually
travel.
I can't travel, because and this is a collaboration, but I need it because it will be really good for me. And it was just a bit of a mess. So I had to turn down unpaid work and collaborations. And I was like, what do I do? Because I'm breaking now and I can't afford things.
Yeah. And also like making art is fantastic. And I'm very, very thankful to the people that have collaborated with me in the past, when we're just making art for the sake of art. But what you've touched upon there is a very important point on just sort of checking on yourself as well, and putting yourself as a priority. That if you're going to being a part of a project, you're putting in a lot of mental energy, you're putting in a lot of time to be a part of this and give your contribution as an artist. That has a cost, like emotional energy cost, like some kind of cost, and sometimes you've got to make the call on whether or not it's worth the cost or not, right? So it's important to not say yes to everything.
Exactly, it's important not to say yes to like literally everything, because you don't want the industry to control you. You should be in control. You're in the driver's seat. You are in charge of your career. You know what I mean? So if this is my opinion for me and not for anyone else, because there's no right or wrong.
That's
in
100%,
this industry.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what I say is not gospel, because this is just my experience. But I feel like if you're going to say yes to literally everything, you might just be moved around like this, and then you might feel lost because you won't know where your focus is and what you're really doing. So it's important to always have this one focus and think, does this collaboration help me in my goal as well? It has to be both ways. That's a collaboration. It works for both people. What was the question? What was the original point? Finances.
Well, finances, in general. Just like no, I love it. I love the free flowing like way this conversation's taking. But we were talking about
to manage the finance
the life before a full-time creative.
So when I was breaking, I thought, okay, I can't go back into a 9 to 5, 5 days a week.
No.
But what I started to look for was part-time work, which a lot of artists do. So I was like, but okay, there's a gym, and I worked at a gym like as a receptionist for probably a couple of months. But then I was like, I can't do this. I can't be paid this much. It wasn't a lot, and I was like, I can't do this job. So then I found another IT job, which was 3 days a week. And I was like, okay, I can probably manage 3 days a week, Monday to Wednesday, and then from Thursday to Sunday I will be just creative. What I found, and I did that for about 6 or 7 months. What I found was that my creativity was decreasing completely. It was just because you're so tired from the 3 days.
It's draining,
and it is really draining. And to be creative, you've got to have the energy.
Exactly.
To say yes to the things that work, or do that audition at 12 o'clock at night. You know, do this self-tape, and you're not tired for it. So
I treat it like a shift.
Little things
like
really
I
matter.
wake up, and from this hour to this hour, I am dedicating my time to creative work.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was really hard, and so I decided to like save as much money as possible from that job. And then I was like, I need to dive in. And a choreographer that I know, he had once said to me that, and this was before I became an actor, he had said to me, like, you should delve in fully, because if you're not hungry, then you will miss things, because you don't need the money. And when you miss things, like an advert or a commercial or this job or that job, you also miss the opportunity to network with those people who will recommend you for another job.
Boom.
So
that's really good advice.
All these like things that you might think, oh, there's an email, there's a casting, but I can't be bothered to like, you know, reply to that, or I can't be bothered because
I probably won't get it
this
anyways,
much money. I probably won't get it. When you're a full-time artist, you are hungry for literally all the
anything.
stuff that works for you. I mean, not anything, but like,
I mean, as
you know
in like,
what I mean?
Within your radius of artistic work that you want to do. Yeah,
exactly. So now, like, every audition my agent sends me, and I'm with an agent that works well for me. I'm doing every single self-tape, and it's a lot, but I love it. This is the life I wanted.
That's the job of a creative, of an actor that you were after.
Yeah, but you make the sacrifices. So I don't want to make it sound all like juicy and stuff. You make the sacrifice. You live a certain standard of life. You know, I can't be like going out doing whatever I want, spending X amount of money. You know, clothing and things. You've just got to completely downsize on a lot of things. And things like, when I think about normal people, and I think, oh, people my age now have a house, or they're probably getting married, or they might have kids. I don't have any of that. I don't have this like real life succession.
Checkpoints, tick marks. 100%.
You're living like against it and like anti it, and it's like, when the time is right, it will happen for me. But these are the sacrifices you make. So then your job becomes even more important to be successful, again, whatever that means.
Wow, that's
I feel like I could just go on and on.
No, please do. That's the whole point. I love this. This is like even I'm listening to this and I'm just like, I just want to hear more. This is valuable stuff. Like, people, It's kind of like when you're looking after your health as well, right? If you want to get in shape, if you want to get fit, um, it, whatever your sort of health goals are, you need to make the certain decisions and the certain changes in your lifestyle in order to get there. And I feel like that doesn't just like, it's not just restrained to the gym. It goes on to like your aspirations, your career goals as well. If you want to be like, I don't know, a filmmaker, a director, like an actor, a certain type of creative, then you've got to start incorporating the elements within your lifestyle that's going to take you there.
It's literally, and I understood this very late in life, because I used to look at a task or look at something, a project, and look at it like if it was a mountain, and I used to get very overwhelmed. But now I've realized actually it's literally the smallest habits, like waking up an hour early, or making sure you get enough sleep, or eating at the right times, and the step-by-step thing is how you achieve those goals, not like straight away, if that makes sense.
So you're doing a number of things, right? You are juggling a duality in the sense that you have non-artistic work and you have artistic work or aspirations. And even then within the artistic side of things, you may have multiple art forms that you are juggling. How do you look after yourself? How do you stay sane when you have so many factors to kind of like play with?
I don't know if I stay sane. Yannick has seen all sides of this.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
And you know, and I have seen all sides of Yannick, but and it's very normal. I think it's normal. Everybody has like breakdowns. They're very normal. I'm not going to pretend that you know, I'm fine all the time. I'm not. So I don't manage, but I'm always trying to like think about how I can improve my mental health, and this just goes about mental health. And I think it's little things like making a timetable in a day. So for example, today I had so many different tasks and different hats to wear. But what I do when I wake up, I've got to make a timetable of what am I doing from 7 to 8, what am I doing from 8 to 9, and every day is different. So every day I have to wake up and make that timetable just so that I time certain things in the day and have enough time for it, if that makes sense. So I even messaged you saying I might not be on my phone, but please message me, leave me a voice note, because I'll be there at 6 o'clock for sure. But before then I had so many different other things to do, and I think physically writing down the tasks in a timetable helps a little bit.
I think that's what to put what you've just said in another way is, oftentimes it's very easy to think that having so many hats to wear, so many forms to juggle, can seem very chaotic. And the opposite of chaos is order or structure, right? And I suppose having skills or a way of bringing about some form of structure via a timetable, a routine, a sleeping pattern, whatever that is, in place, I suppose helps give some structure and order to what we perceive as chaos.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what my life looks like from the outside. A lot of people message me and say, wow, you're doing so many different things. And yes, I am, but I'm managing because of that timetable that I make every day. And it's a matter of waking up. I do some meditation, I do some breathing, I have some quiet time, which centers my mind. And then I think, right, what's on the agenda today? Who do I need to get back to? What emails do I have to do? What creative thing do I have to do? What rehearsals do I have to do? And just make time for that. But I have a diary, it's very structured. So just to manage all that.
One thing that I've really come to value in this lockdown is the importance of having a nothing day. Like, where I just do nothing.
Oh my God, I love that nothing day. It's the best day.
I would beat myself up so much on just, you know, not being productive enough. But I've really found the value of just being like, I can schedule a day in a week where I am doing nothing. I can watch a film, or I could not watch a film, or I could just lay about like a slob, like do nothing all day. I feel like that's kind
another
of.
thing.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's another thing you just touched on is beating yourself up internally and thinking,
Yeah.
I should be doing more, I should be doing not more. Why am I not productive? I am this person, or at least I am coming out of that person, because I've realized that beating yourself up, it just stresses you out, and stress is not productive. It's just, it's just you're killing yourself with like, it's that thing where you have to revise when you're in school,
Yeah.
and you're not revising, but you're also feeling guilty for not revising, and you're like, oh, this is like, I just need the exam to happen, you know.
I completely agree. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I think it's like, I mean, I listen to Sadhguru a lot, and I'm into my spirituality, and he always says, you only literally have this moment, and you've got to be okay with this moment. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist. Really and truly, none of these things exist. It's just right now, and you've got to fulfill that moment with however you wish.
Yeah.
Because what if we don't live tomorrow? Like, who's to say that we stress so much today and we might not wake up tomorrow? So what's the point of the stress? So you have to understand that if you feel like doing something in the moment, obviously don't murder anyone, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if you feel like just being in bed, listen to your body, because your body knows what it wants. Your instincts know what they want. So listen to yourself, like you said, like we've said so many times.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a skill that I am trying to get better at, definitely with time. And what you've said here about the moment is a philosophy that I've kind of accepted, or like been subscribed to for a very, very long time, without kind of attributing it to any kind of school of thought or religion as such. For me, it just psychologically, philosophically makes sense. That the past is a hallucination and the future is an imagination. The moment, the only truth that we have is the present. So, and that helps me kind of snap out of when I'm like in moments of like just discombobulation, like disorientation. All of it helps me kind of reorient myself, realign myself.
And if you ask anybody who's older, like I've always asked people who are like older, like grandparents and stuff,
for sure.
I've always asked like people, what would you do differently if you went back, like back in time, and what are the big lessons in your life? And they always say, I wish I didn't stress about work. Nobody says, oh, I wish I worked harder. Every single person has said, I wish I enjoyed my life more. I wish I was in touch with my friends and family more. I wish I smiled more. I wish I dressed up and like partied. Like these are the kinds of things that people always say. Nobody has said to me, I wish I worked more.
So
that's there's a learning curve there too, right?
That's fair. I love that. Lastly, this is something I like to ask all of my guests, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, given the kind of the subject that we've been talking about. How do you keep faith as a creative?
In myself?
Yeah. So what is your take on keeping faith as a creative? Like, how do you tell yourself it's going to be okay, or I'm going to push through? Or when you were working part-time, what was the belief that sort of pushed through and broke that barrier into where you are today, and even today?
Faith in yourself. I think that's come from a lifetime of experience. Who am I? Bloody hell.
You are Nisha Aaliya is who you are.
What if I talk about lifetime experience? I have a life to live. But from the years of life experience I've had, however much that is, there's been lots of things and challenges and obstacles, which now in hindsight I feel like, oh, if I hadn't gone through that obstacle or that challenge or that terrible moment in my life, I would not be strong today. I would not have the tenacity, the thick skin, and the perseverance.
Resilience, perseverance, for sure.
The resilience and those things I think I've collected over the years because of certain things I've been through, certain things that have happened in my life. I'm sure everyone goes through challenges and obstacles, and it's almost like you've got to look at the obstacle and think, there's a meaning for this. There's a learning that needs to come out of this, so that I can grow to be in the next chapter of my life. That's how I look at obstacles. So for me, I know that I'm going to fail 100 times, and I know this sounds very Will Smith, this sounds very like motivational speaker, but I love Will Smith, by the way, but I feel like it is, you need to understand that as a creative, you're not always going to win, you're not always going to bag every single job, but if you keep going, you'll get something. And I think that's my belief, that's my faith, that no matter what, like, I just need to keep going. I just need, like, I'm gonna hear a lot of no's, and I have, you know, but then I'll hear some yeses too, and I've just got to keep going through the barriers. And I've read like lots of autobiographies and watched lots of interviews where they all said the same thing, like, if you sat down after the first person said no,
well, that's it, that's the end of the journey. Then
that's the end of the journey. So it's almost like I can do it because there's something in me, a drive or a fire or whatever it is. It's not out yet, so I'm still going.
There's still, you've got so much more to give.
I've got so much more to give as an actor, as a dancer, as a creative. I want to create more work, and
well, I for one can't wait. No, you 100% have, because what you've said is basically there's a massive amount of value in looking back at your own self from like a third person point of view, almost like you're looking at this timeline as a 5-dimensional being almost.
I love that.
and you just got to sometimes reflect on the growth that you've had from, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and reassure yourself that, look, if I can grow this much in this much time, then I've got so much more to give.
Exactly.
So the world better prepare. And
exactly, because I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm someone's cup of tea.
So there is an audience for me out there somewhere.
There's a place for everyone.
I love that.
My place is to be found.
Nisha, thank you so much. I cannot like express how much of a genuine pleasure it's been. Like, we've talked face to face after so long, and to talk about such valuable stuff, it's been I'm ecstatic.
I wish this could actually go on, but maybe off camera we could just continue our chat.
We will 100%. But we are definitely getting you on another episode soon.
Let's do that.
But hopefully people found some sort of value in what we were talking about. But I know I sure did, and I'm looking forward to editing this and going through all the stuff you talked about. But thank you, Nisha.
Thank you.
Much love, and we'll see you next time.
Peace. See ya.
That was my episode with Nisha Aaliya, talking about the dualities and the many forms of dualities that we have to face as creatives, going from part-time to full-time, and everything in between. I hope you found value in what we were talking about. I'd like to thank Nisha again for taking out the time, for providing such beautiful insight and valuable insight. I know I, for one, got very engaged, so I hope you found value in that as well. As always, follow Nisha on Instagram at miss.nisha.aaliya. Obviously links down below in the Instagrams and the descriptions. But yeah, if you like what you saw, engage in the comments, let me know what you thought. Share, like, subscribe, all of that beautiful juiciness, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.